Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about what creates our mental program, what creates our pattern, our habit, what makes us do what we do on a regular basis. You remember we mentioned that there's a part of our brain, the unconscious brain, that controls 95% of our behavior. And sometimes some of our patterns, some of our habits, they're good for us. If you have the habit to get up in the morning and appreciate everything is in your life, and you have the habit to take healthy breakfast, you have the habit maybe to exercise a bit, this is good behavior, this is good pattern, that's awesome. Sometimes we don't have that good of a behavior, like smoking, for example, drinking a lot of alcohols, sometimes argumenting. It's not a good behavior. Confronting, dictating, blaming. These are not behavior that gives us positive result. But why do we have this pattern inside us? Like, where did we learn that? Because we didn't born with this pattern. We didn't born with this habit. We learn according to what we heard from our environment. And environment is like not just our parents, it's our parents, our siblings, the teacher, the friends, the mentor, your boss, your neighbor, everybody in your environment. Like I said, we register for 400 billion bits of information per second. You can't control all that, so there's a lot of information that gets into your brain. Now, how the pattern is formed is that in front of any situation, like for example, if for whatever reason, let's take the example, creating a video, or talking in front of people, or talking in front of a group, or talking about presenting, for example. Okay, you probably had this situation in the past. You probably went to school and you had to present something at school. So that was the situation. Now, you had an experience according to this situation, whether it was a good experience or a bad experience, or depending of your personality. Let's say that you were a person that was very quiet, and you don't necessarily like to talk in front of a group or in front of a camera. So because of your personality, because of past experience, because of maybe what you were told, that talking in front of people is really, really difficult. Maybe you saw somebody really like freezing in front of a class. So all this information created a sense, like a meaning, a perception of what it means to you to speak in front of a group or talk in front of a camera. Now, with this perception is linked an internal dialogue, like you talk to yourself according to that. So what does it mean? It has a meaning, it has images, because you can remember to see that little kid that was frozen and didn't know what to say. So you have this image, and you also have some words, you have some phrase, you have some things that you heard, things that you told yourself on a regular basis. So that's what we call the internal dialogue. And we think about 50 to 60,000 times a day. So we do have a lot of thinking that's going inside there. And now naturally, depending of the meaning that you are associating with talking in front of people and what you say to yourself, obviously you're going to have a feeling. Okay, it's going to be either positive or negative. If you're saying phrase like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do that, I can't do that, I have no confidence, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, or about, oh my God, like what if I don't say the right thing, what if I make a mistake, what if I cannot find my words, what if I froze, what if, then obviously you're not going to feel good about this situation. So what's going to happen? What type of behavior are you going to have? You're going to want to avoid to speak or to present in front of people. You're going to want to find all kinds of excuses not to do it. and you're not going to be good at it. By avoiding, you're never going to develop the ability to do it. And it gives a result. Well, depending, maybe talking in front of people, it's not a big thing for you right now. This is maybe not the example that will make a change in your life. But basically, can you understand that the result of our life are basically in relationship with how we feel about the situation and what we say to ourselves. You see, we have the tendency to, when we want to influence people or we want to help people, okay, give suggestions, let's put it this way. We have a tendency to tell people how to act, what to do. But you see, why it doesn't help? It's because there's a reason why that person doesn't do it. There's a reason why that person avoid doing this particular thing and this way in particular. Behind that not doing, there's an emotion. There's a reason. It's either the person feels uncomfortable, the person feels that she doesn't know how, the person feels that it's unfamiliar, so it's not what I used to do, or the person just doesn't understand and doesn't feel that it has a doesn't feel the motivation to change anything. And that feeling goes with what the person is telling herself, you know, what matter, what change, what I'm doing is fine. Why should I do what you tell me what to do? What you tell me to do? Why would I do your way and not my way? So that's the internal dialogue. And then there's a perception of what was just told to us. So that's basically the reason. And if you have kids at home and you constantly tell them what to do and what not to do, and they don't listen to you, basically that's because of that. Because we're not wired this way. We're wired to, in front of a situation, we have a perception. If it's a new perception, it's being created right now. But if it's a perception that we add based on what we heard and what we saw, what we experienced, it's already there. So the only way to change a behavior or to change the result, we have to change how we feel about it, how we what we tell ourselves about that situation, and our perception or the meaning that we have about that perception. So we call that like reframing. For example, like an example at work. Let's say that there's a doctor that calls and wants to talk to you on the phone. Let's say that, you know, a situation. And let's say that this doctor, you know, just by hearing the name, you know that usually that doctor is really bad in giving criticism. Okay, it's never positive, it's always negative. That's the meaning. So the situation that specific doctor wants to talk to you, usually it's really bad, it's really negative. So basically you're going to prepare yourself, you know, in a negative way, say, okay, my God, what is he going to tell me again today? Like, what did I do wrong again? And then obviously you're not going to feel good about it. So on the phone, how are you going to be? Very confident, very assertive, and even positive, and even in a mindset of influencing positively this person? Absolutely not. So you see, our pattern, mental pattern, the way we registered situation in our unconscious brain has an influence constantly on our reaction and on the result on our life. So you're gonna hear me a lot talking to you about how do you feel about this, and what do you say to yourself, and what's your perception, because perception has everything to do with the way we behave, the way whether we act or we don't act, and the way we react as well. So hope this helped you to understand yourself a little better and understand other people as well. See you next time.